Oh boy. Moon in the partner's 10th house. Wow. And y'all know I always say wow. Wow, 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 wow. But the thing here with the moon in the partner's 10th house, it's really not as bad as it can seem. If someone's moon is in your 10th house or your moon is in someone's 10th house, does that make any sense what I just said? Gosh, I always get these mixed up. Here we have the moon. One person's sensitivities falling in the house of another person's projection. Because we have the 10th house of the public. This 10th house is shown. People can see the 10th house whether you want them to see it or not. And you take someone's moon, someone's private self, someone's personal self, personal sensitive behaviors and responses, even the subconscious mind, and you place it in the 10th house of someone else, here you get a very raw expression projected into the world. A raw perception of the relationship and the interactings and the inner workings of the relationship projected to the public. And this is iffy. This is iffy because the 10th house person doesn't necessarily want their personal lives projected to the world. The 10th house person is going to want to come, very straightforward, very cut and dry, even professional when it comes to the world. They're going to want to come that way. They're not going to want to come, or they're not going to want to have certain things being exposed. The moon person is going to display themselves no matter what. The moon person can even feel as if the 10th house person is being judgmental or shameful of them. Like shaming them of their feelings sometimes, shaming them and not really validating how they feel, how they express themselves. When the 10th house person just wants to focus. And they just cannot understand why the moon person doesn't accept this. Here is a relationship to where one person feels like the other person is overworking. So yes, the moon person is going to feel like the 10th house person is way too involved in work, way too involved in a very serious way, and they have little to no time left for them. So the moon person is going to feel a certain type of way. And another aspect to this that can play out is the moon person is highly invested in the 10th house person's work, highly invested in what the 10th house person does, how they do it. They can even support them because here, so yes, it can be good. It can be good in the sense that the 10th house person has someone that's going to support them in their career and in their goals and what it is that they're living for, or what they want in life, and what they want to accumulate over time. And they are committed to helping the 10th house person out. That's a good thing because we need support when we're trying to accomplish goals that could be pretty difficult or time consuming to accomplish. But the problem comes in when there's no balance on the 10th house person's part, and the 10th house person is acting really the 10th house person is disregarding the feelings of the moon person. It's the 10th house person has to take in consideration the way that the moon person feels so that they can create or make time to spend with the moon person. But resentment can take place with displacement between two people. Because at the end of the relationship, if the relationship ends, one person or both could feel like they wasted time. And it's very interesting because the 10th house person wants the validation of the moon in order to, it's like the moon gives the 10th house person some sort of stamp of approval of what it is that they're working for, or or what it is that they're trying to accomplish, because we speak about support here, you know. So the 10th house person loves that, but at the same time, where the resentment can come in is if the moon person has more of an influence and is encouraging or dragging or making the 10th house person feel guilty for wanting to spend time at work, for wanting to accomplish goals, for being committed to um, work or a career. And if the 10th house person listens to the moon person so much as so as deterring off of their career path or not putting much time and focus into what it is that they're trying to build, if the 10th house person can feel resentful because, or never really happy. The 10th house person can feel like, well, what if? And the moon person could literally feel like they wasted their time. The moon person can even seek emotional support from outside of the relationship. Now, it could be good. Another part. The moon person can sometimes feel triggered by the 10th house person as well, because they can feel like the 10th house person is playing on their emotions or their mental state, because we're dealing with the subconscious mind. Where this could be good is that the moon person can vicariously live through the 10th house person and support them, and you know, they can even build something together. The moon could be proud, and it's like, okay, this is, you're doing things that I felt like I wanted to do and accomplish in life, and I can see that happen through you. But at the same time, the 10th house person can trigger the moon person in a subconscious way to making the moon person feel like, man, like, am I missing something? Am I lacking in my goals and what it is that I need to pursue? And the moon person can sometimes feel like they traded in something, like they gave up their life or they gave up their plan and their goals to support the 10th house person. But they can, you know, if they're, when they're in sync and when they're in balance, I think that the most important thing here is to come at it through balancing work life or career and family time, and not disregarding each other's feelings, like being open to each other's feelings and what decisions are made concerning like what it is that they're trying to do long term. It can work out if you can somehow get on the same page. This placement could be very good. Publicly, you can look close. Other people can feel like, wow, you know, they really do complement each other. But another aspect is that publicly, this relationship can play out in a real dramaful way, because it's kind of hard to hide or separate personal life from public life. Okay, so this is moon in your partner's 10th house synastry. Butterfly to light. Like this video and subscribe to my channel because I will be back.